But some of us just waltz around life as if you don't really know. And when you watch horror movies, that is the same thing that happens. Those ones that you hear the sound, you see, something is not right. Some people will take off immediately. Some will say, what is that? That's what just entered. And you go there and then you are eaten. Those inquisitive people that want to, ladies and gentlemen, you have to find out. If your spouse is tied to the apron of the family, I am telling you again, you don't marry for love. No, love is the smallest ingredient. Let me tell you, love is like Maggi in all the big pot of soup. Love is not why you marry. You marry for things like friendship and compatibility. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Just Before You Say I Do. Something awesome happened to me during the week. It was, I don't know how to tell you guys. I was given an award by NYAGGI, that is an acronym for Nigerian Youth Advocacy for Good Governance Initiative. So I was given an award and also presented with this plaque. I don't know if you can read that. It says the Nigerian Youth Advocacy for Good Governance Initiative. I was presented with the Golden Role Model Award, and I was made an ambassador, barrister Olumide Omoshebi, as an epitome of humanitarian services. This was presented to me. They came from Abuja, and yeah. In fact, I was a bit confused. It also came. They made this, and it reads. I wonder if they were referring to me. Ambassador Barrister Olumide. Well, it is with great sense of responsibility. Pay a courtesy visit to me. Ambassador Barrister Olumide's enthusiasm for building and impacting on youths is highly commendable. The attenuation signal of your zest and verve can be felt a mile away. You need to hear, there are some grammars here I have never heard. An ethical stickler, an icon of moral rectitude, easygoing and loved by all. That loved by all, hey. Plenty we know like me there, but I understand. To the simple, to the plain. No, it's not to the simple. To those who value humanity. Enigmatic, energetic, charismatic, strategic, evergreen. Ambassador Barrister Olumide is one out of a few Nigerians that fit into this description. Mentor, role model, pathfinder, leader, philanthropist, epitome, rare gem, beacon, legend. That was when I had to get up and look at them. Are you referring to me? A man of character, pillar of support, bridge builder, lover of truth, lovable with large heart, that has room for all, a man for all season, a 360-degree leader with vision, a brother like no other. Abraham Lincoln had you in mind when he said, I quote, "Man owes to humanity without question to leave the society better than he met it by contributing his own quota." We believe this philosophical saying: some are born great, some acquire greatness, and some are entrusted with greatness. We concur with this statement, and we pronounce the confirmation of Ambassador Barrister Lumide as an epitome of humanitarian services. So I think you guys are the only ones I have displayed this to live, apart from my family and probably on social media. Thank you very much. It was awesome. It made me a little and I have been in a very reflective mode. Oluwabs, how are you? Oluwabs, you missed my presentation and my award. I was showing the award I got and the medal. You know, my son was asking if this was gold. It won't be in the house if it was gold. Anyway, it put me. Some people heard at the state CID that I was presented an award, and you know, they were sending their congratulatory messages, and it put me. I was very emotional that day because I hadn't really gotten any kind of recognition for, you know, real recognition. I wasn't looking for it. I was even confused when I got the call. But then it was encouraging because at times we're on the lifeline where we stand in front, almost being in front of, you know, good and evil. You are the one standing in between the arrows, the daggers, the fatigue. In fact, today, by the time I got to the state CID, the OC gender, that is the department I work with, you know, the work is so hectic that Madame Igodalo, I heard, is now in the hospital. You know, the stress is really much. So when I was given that award, I got a call, and they were reminding me and the gender unit that I'm the only lawyer that brought a case and then brought a stick to beat his own client in the police station. And I was just remembering that I would share that with you. That no other lawyer, they've not seen it before, where a lawyer will bring a matter, he will have the culprits arrested, then come back days after and get a stick and then flog his own client in the police station. I think that happened last year. I think people should try to a lady brought a case. It was defilement. In fact, it was a pastor of a church I had visited. I had talked in their church, and this lady was in the choir of the church, and I got a call because she ministered that day and I liked her. She was small. She's 16 years old. And then they said she had been defiled. You know, you have to be 18 to go by the terminology rape. Once you are less than 18 in age, it is not rape, it is called defilement. So that she was defiled, they stopped the bus she was in, dragged her out, and took her. There was a waiting Okada. They put her on the Okada and they sped off to an uncompleted building where she was defiled and all that. So when I heard that, my head spun. I told them to bring her. They brought her to my office. I asked her, I said, what happened? She told me I said, who is this guy? He said, well, it's like a boyfriend. They were dating, and immediately I put my petition forward. I had him arrested. It was around Ajegunle, and they transferred him to Yaba. And, I was just mad. I don't know. Is it that they think we will not investigate? After investigating, we found out that, the father is a seaman. The father of the girl is a seaman. He's offshore, onshore. So the man, they had to radio him. He came onshore, ran there. The mother came. The mother was one woman I thought shouldn't be a mother. She was just staring. And I tell them, women that are not raising children, they are just cohabiting with their children. So during the course of, I now found out that the reason the guy kind of attacked her was because he wanted to take her phone. The girl got another boyfriend and gave that boyfriend this boyfriend's number. So this boyfriend called that boyfriend, threatening him, and told him that they will be waiting for him at home, where, there, that they were going to kill him and all that. So the boy couldn't go home. He now came to this girl, that who did you give my number, that they are threatening me, that I should leave you alone, that what is going on? It was there, he had to chase the girl into the car, drag her down, that he can't go to his house, that who did you give my name, who is calling me, they are threatening me, what happened, That was what happened. But she now came and said, when I found out, and I had, this man was going for life imprisonment. We had started the case. There is no bail in defilement. There is no bail in rape. You understand? So he was going straight to Kirikiri. I had to run, stop them. I took a stick and I looked at this 16-year-old. That, is it my head you will be using? Why would you want to send this boy to jail? He's your boyfriend. You didn't want to do again. Instead of you to tell him, you now went to give his name to some boys who started, the father was there, the mother was there. Nobody could stop me because I was going to flog both father, mother, and child. It was, I gave her like 4, 5. All the policemen, right, they said they will not look at this. But it was just, so I think I have the record there that I'm the lawyer that came to assault his own client. But let me leave that alone. Thank you, everybody, for your congratulatory messages. It was a big one. The award was a big one for me. It meant a lot. This was a big encouragement. And I thank them again, the Nigeria Youth Advocacy for Good Governance Initiative. I want to thank you once more. They really went all out. They came from Abuja to my office, So let me leave that. That was the highlight of 20 years of work in this it's amazing. So this evening, please permit me to just talk a little about what has been going on for a while. Since October last year, it had started a little earlier in the year, but when it was getting to September, October, now September is my wife's birthday and my wedding anniversary, my son's birthday, my mother's birthday, everybody's birthday is in September, almost everybody. We now started having cases where children were missing. The mother will come home and see that the children have been taken, some of their clothes have been taken, and they would run out, only to find out that the husband would say, well, yeah, the children have been taken. Shebi, you want to go, you can be going. And then some men will get home, their wives have cleared the house, taken the children and disappeared, gone to move into their family house or traveled out of the state. So we have been trying to get children In the past 2 weeks, we've gotten about 14 children. Today, we also recovered some children that were taken, by a spouse. Now, this phenomenon now that people are using children to punish their other spouse, people are using the children to get at them. Marriages might not work. It might work. A lot of people are not told how to choose. So a lot of times we choose wrong. We choose wrong, especially Christians, because 87% of failed marriages are from Christian marriages. Check it. Domestic violence and abuse, divorces, separations, 87% are from Christian marriages. In fact, you know that from statistics, being a Christian makes your marriage more likely to fail than succeed. By 2025, our records show that the Christian woman and the simple woman would more likely die from their marriage and its complications than any natural illness, because they just choose wrong. Men choose wrong, women choose wrong, but women always feel the brunt. So let me move back to where I was going. We now try to get these children. Arrests are being made. Family members will now have to give up the location. And, I found something very, very interesting. The children are mostly being kept in the custody of their mother, that is the mother-in-law, that is the spouse's parents. If it was the woman that took the children, she would go and keep it with the mother. If it is the man, men, almost all the cases where men took the children were being kept with his mother. And this has gotten a lot of my attention. Why is it that mothers would connive to take the children of, begotten in their own children's marriages? They would connive to take their grandchildren. There is one that we did 2 days ago. The mother had high BP, that she was on drugs. The drugs were so strong that it would knock her off. Still, she went to keep 3 children from her son's marriage. Mothers-in-law. Do you know that 31% of failed marriages have parental influence? No, it is 40. No, I think it's 39%. But of the 39%, 31% are mother-in-laws. That is, mothers-in-law are responsible for a lot of marital breakups. The fathers-in-law are responsible for about 7%. But mothers-in-law, and this is my confusion, mothers-in-law. I have always told people that women are their own problem. Women will cause pain to another woman. Every pain, every tear a woman goes through in marriage is more likely the resultant of another woman's advice, another woman's cover-up, another woman's effrontery. I don't know if you got that. Women are their own problems. Now, for those that want to marry, let me just tell you just ahead of time. There is a Yoruba proverb that says maybe you can have a bad husband, but you cannot afford to have bad in-laws. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how deeply you fall in love with a man, check out his mother. No matter how deeply you fall in love with a woman, check out her mother, because that woman may have the key to life and death of this your marriage. You don't marry for love. Marriage has to be a sure bet, in the sense of you have done all you know right to do. Mother-in-laws, if you have a bad mother-in-law, your marriage cannot work if the mother-in-law has influence over the son or the daughter. Mother-in-laws are such a problem that they are an extension of pain. They are an extension of confusion in the marriages of some. If you have a good mother-in-law, you don't know what God has done for you. But all the women here will grow up to be mothers-in-law. Your children will get married in your lifetime. But look at this. Genesis 2:24 tells you that Adam said, "For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and the two shall be one flesh." You need to know that the man has left his father and mother. Thank you. Olusegun 347. Ìyàwó burúkú ṣe fẹ́, àna burúkú ni ò ṣe ní. Genesis 2:24 tells you, "For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife." You need to know men who have left. There are some men who are still under the influence. It is not until you live together in the same house. Some you can even live in different continents, but once the father or the mother calls him, he cannot disobey, he cannot disagree. Auntie Zuzu, good evening, sir. You saw me today at Panti police station. You didn't approach me. You would have approached me now. Auntie Zuzu 1, thank you. Next time you see me, say hello. You need to understand, you need to check to be sure that the person you are married to or you want to get married to is not someone who is being spun on the strings of the father or the mother, who is still tied to the wrapper of the mother, or still tied to the thistles, to the strings, to the tune of the father. You need to marry someone who is independent of thought, who can think. Just call me barrister, Auntie Zuzu. Once you just say barrister, you just walk up to me and you just mention either relationship 360, or just before you say I do, or I listen to you on the radio, I will just understand. Thank you for what did you even come to do in Manti? Thank you very much for joining in. You need to know that a man has left his mother or father and is clinging to the wife. You need to know whether you would see that Genesis 2:24 addresses men. There is nowhere in the Bible you will see that tells a woman to also leave mother and father and cleave to her husband. Why? Because a woman is born naturally disjointed, disconnected from parents. A woman who is joined to her father or to her mother to the extent that they control is almost an anomaly. You love your parents, but when it comes to the issue of control, to the extent that they would tell you to pack your load, bring your children and leave your husband while they are in their own husband's house, is funny. Ladies and gentlemen, how is it? The last case I was handed, this one today, the mother-in-law does not have money. In fact, the mother-in-law and her son, who is the husband of this woman, have nothing. The man, it doesn't work. He says God told him not to work, that he's an evangelist. The mother does not have one farthing. The wife for 8 years has been feeding the man, clothing the man. He said he's a plumber. She'd opened a shop for him. He refused to go there. He will go to the shop to bless the shop and pray there and then go. Not one transaction in that. That's Gideon Ote. Yeah, welcome. Better late than never. How? I don't understand. You take 2 children that you cannot even feed. You know, when we started the investigation, you know that these people will sell the clothes of the children that they brought from the mother's house to feed. They didn't have. But still, in the height of wickedness, knowing you cannot afford the children you are taking, you still keep the children. One of the children had kwashoko. The head was bigger than the shoulder. Then, unfortunately, the boy fell in school and broke the hand. This woman was begging because she was also called by the school that this child is, broke the hand. She was begging, let us take the child to the hospital. The mother-in-law was, no, there is Alagbo, all those people local people that arrange. This is breaking off. They need to do x-ray. Took there. Since October last year, we recovered this child about 2 days ago. Do you know that the hand, you can see how your hand is. His own is this way because they set the bones the wrong way. So where your hand ought to be like this, it is like this. So for him to fold the hand, he can't because the bones here have been set wrong. Guess how old the boy is? The boy is just 3 years old. He's just going to be 3. And they held the boy like that, with that pain, for 4 months. They couldn't afford the hospital. Even food, they couldn't afford. The child, if you saw the picture of before and after, when we got the child, I told that, there's a detention order. Thank God the DCP signed the detention order for the man. He doesn't even stay there. He goes to sleep in church. And today, when the pastor came, he's always sleeping in church. He would not sleep in the house. The woman built a bungalow for them. The man will come then. My question is, why would you even marry a jobless man? She said he told her that he's a plumber and he saw a small shop that he did plumbing. So, and the woman is working, so she said she's okay. She doesn't need to be trailing. She didn't know. So ever since they've been married in 8 years, he has never paid rent. He has never paid children's school fees. He has never bought food that she will buy rice again. Call the husband. She bought a car. The husband will be riding. He will tell, okay, please come and pick me from the shop. No, he cannot come. He's an evangelist. Okay, I bought rice, so let's carry it to the house. He will tell her that let them be dragging the rice. When the rice gets home, he will open the rice, take half and go and give his mother, and then be distributing to his friends. Somebody that has not contributed a dime in the house. And that was okay by the mother-in-law when this man took 2 children because the woman was tired. Took the 2 children, and she got the 2 children by CS. The doctor had told her that she cannot give birth again because, 2 operations and she's smallish. Since last year. Kept by the mother-in-law who has nothing to eat. Nothing to eat. So when the hunger gets, they will just take some of the clothes of the children out of the compound to go and sell. It is whatever change they see. From the sale of the children's clothes that they will come and buy. Now, you see, mother-in-laws, really, I don't understand why the desire of some mothers. We had another matter. The first daughter left her husband's house to come back to her mother's house with her 2 children. The second son has also come home. His children are with the mother. The third daughter, all the children will leave their marriages and come and back to the mother's house. First daughter, second daughter, then this is the third daughter. All of them leaving their husband's house, coming back to their mother's house with the children. And the husbands are like, nothing really happened. I mean, nothing so serious. Not domestic violence and abuse, but they just start, he's cheating. And we'll go and meet this woman, that mama. Doesn't it bother you that all your children and grandchildren are living in your house while their husbands and the father of their children are in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, women, mother-in-laws, let me not even, I'm not a woman. Let me not even go there. Let me just appeal to everyone who wants to marry, whether you're a woman or man. Man, know that this woman is not a puppet of their father's house or their mother's house. Woman, know that this man is not an extension of the apron of his mother. Know that this man is not if they have not left their father and mother and ready to cleave to their wife, leave them alone. Women, you suffer. In case you don't know. You don't know. You better know. Women are the highest casualties. You think it's easy for a woman to recover after 15 years, after 20 years? You think it is easy to recover? You think it is easy to start life all over again? You see all of them bitter. Then they grow up to become bitter mother-in-laws. They grow up to become bitter mothers. Why? Because of their own choice in life. Women, don't marry a man that is tied to... You need to see that all this nonsense. That is why when you are telling me of long-distance relationships, how are you going to know the position and the attachment of this man to his family when one is on another continent? They now marry, the mother will be coming. Do you know that there was one? The woman sent a video. She will be sleeping in her husband's room. The mother-in-law will come and say that her room is too hot, that she wants to sleep there. And then the husband will say, okay, mama, sleep, that he will go to the parlor. And the wife says, no, she can go to the parlor. Why would she come into the mother? You say, the mother-in-law will say, I gave birth to him, he took these breasts. Woman, let me just tell you, if you encounter that before, as your marriage starts, pack your bags and go back. Because that is preamble. What you will see is times 10. Should you give birth there? Should you give birth there? One day, they will come and take your children and say it is their children. I am telling you because, listen, I am... If you see the trauma, thank God the lady saw me in Panti today. She should have approached me. The children that we recovered were there. Big head, kwashoko, shows you the mother-in-law it is the wickedness, that useless woman you went to marry. Then if they don't like you, hey, woman of the year, you will suffer.